We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Ready, break.
On 1st and 10, Daniels checks this one down to Robinson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw on 2nd down, Daniels. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
And he's got this down to the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Daniels throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 16. A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Daniels. And a dump off here to Robinson. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got them into the end zone.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Robinson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Robinson again. This time he's in for a Commanders touchdown. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll look to throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Here's Hurts to throw. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. Just a gain of a couple there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Daniels. This is caught by Robinson. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football. 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Back to throw again. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First target, first catch, and a first down. Off play action. Daniels. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Robinson's got it. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Now this one complete on the slant route. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards that time.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Robinson trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on first down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. He'll try again. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr. with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak. And while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close. But the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. There's a short one caught by Uzama. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
3rd and 2. Hurts. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
But first down, Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Hurts. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Throwing is Hurts. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Hurts sets up to throw it. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They work now on 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Second down, here's Hurts. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, a one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Quick slant here to Smith. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Hurts throw complete here to his receiver Brown. And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles first down as he'll get this down inside the 40. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Barkley on first down, going to work his way forward, only for about a couple there.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Hurts. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. How about Jonathan Allen there, pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Second down and goal. Hurts. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Elliott good with a PAT. And we are tied at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Back to throw. Daniels. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down as he gets this up past the 40. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. On first down, Daniels. And that is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sack. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Daniels. This pass hauled in by Dotson. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the fourth quarter. No gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Here's Tressway now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On second down, here's Barkley. And oh, he coughed it up. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Got a man open, it's Ross. Now inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles strike quickly to take the lead here in the 4th.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Washington offense going back to work. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is Hurts with it, right side.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Off the bootleg. Daniels. He's got a man complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Jalen Carter in on that tackle. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 14 down to the 14.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Daniels. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Commanders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. But we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch. Hurts.
pass complete. Goddard. And Goddard going to have an Eagles first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Throwing is Hurts. And that's complete to Brown.
Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
This short throw caught by Goddard.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
Well, this crowd into it now. 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
Here's 1st down. Hurts sets up to throw it.
This short throw caught by Goddard. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
A handoff, Barkley running left. And some room to maneuver. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
I think we saw the strategy there, how they moved it to the left hash so they could line things up for them to kick the field goal.
And now here comes their final timeout, as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. His first attempt of the afternoon, and it's for the win. And his kick is indeed good, and it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So they tried to ice him there, but it's fair to say it did not have the intended effect.
And I've known kickers that take it as an affront. And there he says, you think you're going to rattle me? Think again.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
The Washington offense back out there. The long drive last time out for this offense, Charles, if you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner, although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA